so this first episode, I only watched the premiere here of season 4 that came out, and I thought this was a really great episode, to get us back into things. And I think maybe the best premiere episode of any season of Hacks. Maybe that's recency bias too. I haven't seen the other premieres in a few years now since they aired. But I thought this one, like, just firing on all cylinders. I thought the comedy was really strong. Like, there were not really any moments of kind of comedic, relief or jokes that didn't hit for me. I thought this was really effective in that regard. I'm a little weary, though, on how, much they're playing up this divide between Deborah and Ava. At the end of season 3, obviously the finale, it was kind of a big thing that happened at the end of the finale, but I didn't quite expect it to go this far. I expected maybe to last a few episodes or something, but the way that they set this up, especially at the end of this episode, it's heartbreaking, to hear them, Deborah never wants to talk to Ava again after late night's done. Like, it was tough, and this episode, was really great with the kind of the antics and the back and forth, and I thought that was effective. But that last scene, this means like a lot, to these characters, and so I'm wondering where that's going to go. If they're going to be able to kind of play that out for a whole season. Or maybe just a few more episodes, and then something obviously changes in the relationship. Because it is, I feel like the show is, at its best when these two characters are, because that's kind of the whole, how the show started, right? Is they were at odds, they were butting heads, and then they kind of came together and had to work together. And, that's kind of been the arc, every season of the show, if you will. Or not every season, but at times throughout the show. And, I feel like it's at its best, though, when they're together. And they're working together, and they're kind of jabbing at each other and going back and forth. And so I do want to see that again, but obviously we'll have to see where the arc goes for the season of Hacks. And I did think season 3, similarly, I really liked the way it started. The middle point to me was a little underwhelming, and then kind of towards the end, it kind of tapered off to me a little bit, except for the finale was a big one there. And so I really hope that season 4 is able to kind of stick through, the season here and really, keep the show at this level of the premiere of season 4, because if it does, I think this has a chance to be the best season of Hacks that we've gotten. But we'll just have to see. I still think season 2 is probably my favorite season. And that one, to me, felt a little bit more consistent throughout, the run of the season. Whereas season 3, to me, there were just some episodes in there that I thought were actually kind of disappointing. Just a lot of them had potential, and then they just kind of, withered and didn't really land for me. So really hoping that season 4 is, could be the best season of Hacks. That remains to be seen. We'll have to see. But really looking forward, obviously, to this one. It does have a bit of a weird release schedule because they really, desperately wanted to get this in the Emmy window, right? To get, obviously the Emmy window is May 31st, which I'm a little confused on, by the way, because they're, I'm not sure that there's like a strict rule for this, and maybe there is, and I don't know it, but it does seem like shows, do go over that May 31st, and I always thought that it was kind of, if the majority of the show, right, aired before May 31st, then it would count towards that year's Emmys. Again, I don't know if it's a strict rule, but just, majority of the show, and that was kind of what it was. But I'm not sure if it's changed or something, because the way that they've done the release now schedule for Hacks, it seems like they were desperate to get it within May 31st, that deadline. And so that's what they've done with the show, and so it's going to be a little strange. I think we have, 2 episodes one week, and then 1 the next, and then 1, and then another 2, and I don't know. I haven't even looked into it, but I know it's a little confusing. So anyways, that's the reason why, but nevertheless, really looking forward to the rest of Hack Season 4. And yeah, to me, I'm not really doing the Emmy schedule, right? I would just look at it as this calendar year, and to me, definitely has a chance to be one of the best comedies of the calendar year. And going to be in line for a lot of Emmys, right? I think season 3 took away the Emmy from The Bear, even, if I remember correctly, right, this last year. So yeah, really great stuff for Hacks, and we're looking forward to it for sure.